Hey again, this is Mark. I'm here with our co-host Tim, and we have a special guest, Leah.
Oh,
That's me.
hi, Leah.
She's over here for me, but
Hello.
all right. This is actually our second attempt, but welcome, Leah, and welcome. What do you got going on back there, Tim? What do you got?
A friend, and he, I guess his cell phone battery died because he just kept pointing at me and going, "Phone home, phone home." So I brought him home and let him phone home. But I can hate to see my phone bill at the end of the month. It's going to be horrendous.
Oh my gosh, that's true. What's funny is he keeps doing this over your head, but
Yeah.
when you turn around, he puts his hand down.
Yeah, I think he's actually. Hold on a minute. I think he's actually flipping me off. If you see his finger there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, what an ingrate, huh? I don't know.
Well, maybe he's got some lasting issues from how he was represented in that movie back 40 or 50 years ago.
Yeah, he was definitely exploited. But
Yeah, I mean, they killed him. They killed him and brought him back just to make the movie. I mean, that's pretty harsh.
It's bad.
But
It's really.
but he
bad.
really knows. Do you remember that E.T. died?
Do you
You
remember
don't
E.T.?
remember that E.T. died in the movie?
Yeah, I know that the little kid on the bicycle, and that's about it. Oh, and like little tunnels and stuff that they had to go through. Maybe.
All the medical stuff to protect
Yeah.
for the viruses.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't worry about viruses anymore. We just
Our guy.
cough on everybody.
Our guy.
So he needs a goatee, though. That's all I gotta say.
He's got
You
something
two-
right here. There we go. All right.
I was gonna say you two need to get a room, but you already do have one.
We love him. I'm gonna hate to see him go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to give him up probably.
He's special, but hey.
Yeah.
Money
Okay.
talks. Money talks. E.T. walks.
Well, we did. The people aren't seeing this, but we, on our first attempt, we talked about how it's a collector's item. And tell us when you got it, or how you got it, or how your family got it.
Unfortunately, the circumstances weren't great. My mom's, she's got dementia. We have her here, and we finally sold her house, but we had to clean everything out. And I'm not saying it was a hoarder situation, but it was a hoarder situation. And
Wow,
this was one of the things, and my brother was going to throw it in the dumpster, just to get rid of it. And then they looked on Craigslist and it was like, whoa. I mean, it's going for a pretty penny. I mean, I don't want to tell you exactly how much because I don't want somebody stabbing me in the eye in the middle of the night and hauling this thing out of my house.
I can just see the news. Man found dead in home.
Yeah, E.T. missing.
Missing.
E.T. prime suspect.
Yeah, he was.
Riding a bicycle, though.
Yeah, with a basket.
Yeah. How did that big thing fit in that basket? That's what I want to know.
Oh, man. The thing's like 4 feet tall. I mean, it's tall,
Wow.
I don't know. I guess if I was a little kid, I might have been afraid of it too, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Leah, thank you for being here. And you have a story you wanted to share. So go right ahead.
Okay. And I might have some picture.
Pictures. Wow. That is upping our production value, Craig.
Should we go to a commercial? That's a good tease. Should we go to a commercial? No, we'll go. Okay, we'll go through.
See the pictures when we come back.
So,
All right, go ahead.
there's two.
Hot.
Now you're on twice. What's going on? This has never happened. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, Mark. It doesn't make sense. This is crazy.
One of me is enough.
Here at the ranch, I've never seen this happen before. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Has Mark told you about not Mule Skinner, Skinwalker?
I don't know.
That's a Skinwalker.
The clothes.
You got to sign one of them. You got to get out of one of them.
All right.
Just pick out the latest one.
That one.
Aha! We're back.
Gosh, actually, I don't have much of an ego, but that was kind of cool having two of me. It kind of made me twice as powerful, I thought. But anyway,
First time up.
was I?
Dominated.
I was swiping left on mine. I was on the left on both sides. Okay, Leah, you got a story. Let's hear it.
Okay, so they say, so to say, that like children and dogs and animals can like see entities or like supernatural things, like ghosts and stuff like that, right? So my personal experience happened when I was under 5 years old. I don't know exactly how old, but I was old enough to remember because I only stayed at that house, the Lodi house, until I was 4. Okay, so I was under 4 years old, right? So I did a little research, just a little bit, just to add some extra stuff in here. So children as young as 2 to 5 begin to form ideas about invisible agents. So like gods, ghosts, angels, things like that, even before they fully understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So then it also talks about fantasy versus reality distinction, or thinking, like children engage in what they call like magical thinking, like an imaginary friend.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So another one is like hallucinatory or perceptual experiences. So a lot of children will say that they see or hear things that aren't present, or having experiences that can be classified as hallucinations. I guess I should set this. You can edit things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, this is permanent. We actually sent it into the FBI. Because they're good.
I feel like I should have said this like afterwards to like talk about it, but
Well, you're prefacing it that since you're a child, does that make the story more or less meaningful to you? It must be meaningful because you still remember it.
I do.
Yep. Can I just interrupt for 1 second? First of all, this explains a couple of things. Why you were hallucinating or seeing hallucinations possibly. And secondly, Mark, where that acid that you had on your nightstand went when she was 4 years old.
I always wondered.
I don't think I don't think we said in this rehash that she's your daughter, but she's Mark's daughter.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, when she was 4 years old, she wasn't just randomly staying with Mark.
Oh. She might have been. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, it says, like, research says that for many kids, these, like, episodes or things that they experience are sometimes linked to, like, transient, sporadic, often tied to sleep states, illness, stress, brief or boundary states, such as waking up or falling asleep. But small children under the age of 7 are less able to reliably distinguish between dreams, imagination, and perception.
Right.
Okay. So, my story started at the Lodi house. One of the very few times that I remember my parents being together, which is crazy, that a scary story is mistakes.
It is scary. It's very scary.
The fact that I dressed up as an old ladies anime, that's about it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, I remember the Lodi house, and my father and I had this discussion before because I remember the setup of this house simply because of this situation. Okay. But I also have an ET.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Okay. So, wait, where was it?
You said that your father and I had this conversation. Something about the Lodi house when you were 4.
Yes. So, my father, Mark, and I had this conversation about the layout of the house, and we literally whipped out a piece of paper and drew where the furniture was at of the house. And he didn't believe me, but then he was like, "Oh wait, one time it was like that." I said, "I know it was." So I vividly remember of how everything was laid out. So I was laying on the couch with you, Dad, and we were facing the TV. I like this old TV, obviously, because it had to have been like 2001 inch older. And I was looking at the TV, and I see a roof with a man in like a long trench coat and a hat or something like that on the roof, running around or whatever in the movie that we were watching. Okay.
Okay.
It was dark in the room. I look over to my left and I see a scarecrow looking man standing on the staircase.
What did he do?
Didn't do anything. I just remember laying there, terrified, afraid to move, because I didn't know what to do. I don't remember leaving from that situation. I don't remember where we went after that situation, but that's what I remember. And I have a picture of what I experienced.
Oh. Okay.
For it,
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm nervous.
it's not that bad.
Okay, go ahead. Whoa! Wait a minute. How did you do that? Because that looks like the house.
AI, brother.
Wow.
That is a wonderful thing. That is an actual picture of the house.
Okay, well that
There was a computer and a desk down at the bottom of the stairs. The TV was
yes.
over, and then the couch
Yes.
would be but it was kind of a trial and error type of thing.
Well, that's really good. Now that picture is not what the house looks like. And the wall colorings are different, and the chair rail thing is there. But yeah, that is.
So there's another.
So
picture.
how long was it there?
I don't know.
How long was it there, and did you see the face?
I have no idea. I never saw its face. So another picture that I found, not the same staircase, but I'm gonna show it. It also reflected what basically
Creeping me out, man.
you want supernatural. You got supernatural.
Huh.
Yep.
That's interesting. Here's the thing though about the ghost. When you have ghost stories, like when you're like in bed, how much of it is really what's happening, and how much is it sometimes your mind can play tricks on you when you're half awake and half asleep?
Yep.
And I've had a couple though. I've had a couple of those, and I might as well just share them now, and I'll put them in as a clip as well. I had it one time. I was in a condo, a small little condo, and I was laying in bed, and I woke up and I heard noise in the living room, which was the next room over. And I'm laying there and I'm listening, and I'm like, what is that? What is going on? And I thought there was an intruder. And I'm listening and I'm hearing the footsteps just as plain as day. And so then I'm just about ready to get up to look, and I start to get out of bed, and I look at the doorway, and this ghostly woman in kind of almost angelic, almost like the Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of creepy creatures, came running through the door and ran around my bed, and I was panicked, and I was like trying to scream, and I couldn't. And they have what's called sleep paralysis, and I was like, ah, and then I woke up, and then it was gone. I always thought that was my mind playing tricks on me, being maybe in the twilight. but it was so real. It was so real. And then I had another one when I was single, when I was divorced. And sometimes things can get kind of creepy when you live alone.
You've told me this story.
And I had one where I was having trouble sleeping, and sometimes I liked it when I'm laying in bed. Sometimes if I'm feeling a little creeped out, I'll actually when I was younger, I'd actually put the cover over my head. So I'm like laying there on the bed, and I've got my legs up, like kind of like, you know, like how you kind of create a tent where you've got like your legs up in bed, and then the blanket goes over your knees, and then over your head. It's kind of like a tent. I had the similar same thing happen where I was laying there, and I could swear I was wide awake. And I was laying there, and all of a sudden I start hearing sounds again in the room, and I think it's an intruder. And I'm like, I'm just going to lay here and not do anything because I'm kind of scared right now. And as I'm laying there, and you know, you can picture having your legs up with the blanket and that little tent thing. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should I get up? Should I pull the covers up? And right as I was thinking that, it was like someone took their finger and poked down on the blanket and pushed it down, like between my legs and my head. And it scared the crap out of me, and then I jolted, and then it was done. Was that a dream? Probably.
Was this at the Orville house?
Yes.
I think that house was secretly haunted. There was some creepy things.
Why do you think that?
Whenever I turned off, I mean, maybe this is just being a kid, but whenever I turned off the lights of the basement, my butt was booking it up those stairs. Mm-hmm. I mean, booking it up those stairs because something was just like, laying down there by myself. No thanks.
I have a similar story. When I was real young, I had lost my dad in a car accident. I was only 5 years old. And so, of course, I would go and I would sleep sometimes with my mom, you know, in the bed because I was scared and I was laying in the bed. And so I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I have this dream where she turns over and she's got like this really like frightening, horrific, like horrible face. And she's like, whoa, like, you know, like gonna attack, you know? And I'm like, oh shit, you know? And so then I like jolted awake. And then I'm like, because I wanted to tell my mom about it, and I'm like, mom, you know, and I'm jostling her, mom, and all of a sudden she turns over and goes, and it was still evidently the dream, and it happened like 3 times in a row, and finally the last time it was like no different than the others. I jostled her again, and then she's like, Tim, and it was normal, but it's something how stuff like that happens, and I've actually had. I don't know if you guys have ever had dreams. Dreams are an interesting subject. I've never even thought about that for this podcast, but there's a lot of places you can go with dreams. I have actually had dreams where I'm dreaming, and then I realize that I'm dreaming. Have you ever had in the dream, and you can do like whatever you want? I mean, I could fly. I went through the roof. I was up in the air. I went back down. I mean, there's nothing you couldn't do. And it was so cool because you knew it was just a dream, but you still were able to do all the cool stuff that you can do in a dream. So I wonder how many other people have experienced that.
No, I forget what that's called.
Peyote nightmares? I don't know.
Lucid dreaming?
Just kidding.
Yes, lucid dreaming. That's lucid dreaming. And they say that if you put your body in a certain state, you can get yourself to lucid dream, or you can like turn the lights on and off and things like that.
It was great.
And you're never supposed to look in the mirror though, because then that's when it's like, oh yeah, scary.
Now, did you ever try what was it with the Mary, what's her name? You say it 3 times in the mirror.
Heck no, absolutely
not. Never tried that?
No,
what was it,
I
Mary?
was way too scared.
Mary
Worth, wasn't it? I think it was Mary Worth. What?
No, I thought it was Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. You say it
maybe
3 times?
3 times.
Don't do it, Mark. It's like Beetlejuice. Don't do it, Beetlejuice. Yeah,
don't
do it.
I don't need any more Bloody Marys in my life. I know a couple
That-
already.
That and Ouija boards have always been
Oh gosh.
the no-goes for me.
Yeah.
Saying stuff in mirrors and Ouija boards, no mas. No thanks. Not gonna do it.
Maybe I'll save this for another time whenever my Wi-Fi is stable, but if you wanted me to talk about a psychic situation, I could tell you about that.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I might get multiple episodes out of this.
Okay.
ahead.
So we had a psychic at my work as one of our patients. And, you know, people would kind of ask her things, or sometimes if you're one-on-one with her, she would kind of say something. And I didn't really believe it. But one day she wasn't feeling good and she was laying in bed. And now, mind you, I do speech therapy, memory therapy. So I was seeing her because she had like stroke and deficits from a stroke with like a little bit of slurred speech and things like that. So I was sitting with her. She wasn't feeling good. She was laying in bed. And sometimes the benefit of my therapy is that I literally can just talk to people. And it was quiet for a minute. The lights were off. I was staring out the window. And she randomly says, "You really need to go get your front right tire checked out." And I was like, what? I was like, my tire pressure's been low for forever in that tire. Like, how in the world would you know that?
Oh.
And she was like, no, like, it's serious. You need to go get that taken care of. So I ended up going to get it taken care of, and there was a massive nail in my tire that, like, they couldn't patch or anything, and I had to get a brand new tire that basically, I just always indicated that she was saying that it could have popped and I could have gotten a car accident at some point.
Yep.
I don't know. She said some really
bitches.
crazy stuff. No, there's no way. It's not like there's a little 90-year-old lady looking for nails in my tire. And I mean, 1 out of 4, chance of getting it right, and she was spot on.
Did she pick the right? She picked the right tire too.
The exact right one. No context, no nothing.
You've never talked to anybody at where you work about my tire's got an issue, or someone said, "Hey, Leah, you got a flat."
Nope. It was never flat. The pressure was low, but I worked primarily at the other building, and she was at the higher functional building. So I was never there. I was only there to see her, and I walk there from the other building, so there was no way of her having any inclination that I had something in my tire.
Did you thank her?
I did, because I'm pretty sure I took it in, like, literally right after. And I said, yeah, like, there was a nail in my tire. And she was like, I told you there was something wrong. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
And actually, she came back around, sadly for her, and she did end up passing away. So may she rest in peace.
Oh.
But she came back around for another skilled stay, and she was kind of asking me how things were going, and I said I was worried because at this time it was in April, and I had a lump in my right breast, and I was worried that it was something wrong.
Sure.
And she said, well, everything should be okay. Typically, if someone has cancer, I see black dots around them.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, I don't see any black dots around you. And I was like, okay.
Dude,
And it ended up being completely benign.
You did have to have it taken care of, though.
I did, yes. I did have it removed.
you bet.
Because it just,
Now,
you're that way.
you told her that you had that issue, and then she said it's okay, or I mean, because if she would have said, "Oh, by the way, you better check this out," then that would have been like the tire. So that wasn't a case where she volunteered that you have a yeah.
It wasn't like that, but I was kind of indicating that I had something like medical going on. And she was just like, well, it's not cancerous, basically in general, because if she sees someone that has cancer, typically there's black all around them. So I don't know.
Now,
He's
Did any
had a
other-
lot of fun stories there.
Well, I was going to say, was there any other patients or staff who had similar experiences with her, and can you give us a couple examples? And if you can't, that's okay.
I know that there were a couple other people that experienced it, but I don't remember their specific stories. She also said, she also told me another story about me, and I don't really know if I should say it, but she told me, so she first came around or whatever, and like, it was beginning of mid 2024 or something like that. And it was the first time I met her, and this was the same time she told me about the tire. A different day, but it was around the same time she was there. And she said that something that's, I don't know if I should say this.
Something personal was going to be in your works or something?
Yes.
We won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody.
So
That, and I was going to make the right choice within the next, 6 months.
I know you don't want to say, but you've had some things going on in your life that is kind of turning point things in your life. So she identified that, is what you're saying,
Basically, yes.
without getting into the nitty-gritty details.
Yes. Yes. And she gave it like a timeline and indicated that I would make the right decision.
Now,
So,
did this woman practice being a psychic for a living, or did she just had that skill and it came and went?
so she said that anybody has that skill. It just like anyone can do it. But she used it as like a religious piece and talking with the angels, which it's hard to say because a lot of people will say that being a psychic is actually the opposite. It's not, it's against religion and things like that. But she always viewed it as like talking to the angels and things like that. And so with the breast situation, she said, ask Raphael, he's the healing angel, to, make sure you're okay. I believe. This is a long time ago. So she actually made this book, and she said, you might be going through something through life, and you just open the book and you read that passage, and then that should give you guidance or whatever. So her daughter is also a psychic. And another coworker of mine, they would be sitting out for lunch and they would just stare at us, and we were like, are they like reading us? Like, what is happening? Like, we didn't really know. But yeah, I don't know. They did both do it for work. I could get her card probably, but
Actually, I have something to say about that. My accountant for a number of years has a psychic next door, the building next door, and every time I drove by, actually I drove by it a lot because I had to go by it to my office, or I went to the accountant, and every time I saw this psychic house with the sign, I would always say to myself, give me a call, you know my number.
That's true.
It never happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I was mocking it. Maybe.
They say sometimes the determining factor on whether somebody is genuinely a psychic or not is whether after they leave your house you discover that your silverware is missing.
That's fair.
I used to work at the Brown Derby. Shows you how old I am. I'm ancient, but I used to work at the Brown Derby, and every Halloween they would have a psychic come in. And every day after, it was like, hey, where's all that? So they'd steal the forks. They'd steal anything that had anything that they thought might have some value. They would take it. They were gypsies,
oh my
basically.
gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, no, this was just a little old lady with white hair, and the daughter was just normal, like I don't want to say normal street looking folk. I don't want to say that's stereotypical of being a gypsy, but you know, it was definitely.
I come from a long line of gypsies. I have Hungarians in my family, so I come from a long line of gypsies. It's the Hungarian curse.
It might be.
Look what it did to my brother.
Oh my gosh!
I know, right?
But you know what?
He used to be really handsome. You got to see his picture from when he was a baby.
I got a couple questions for you here. I don't know if Tim has any. I got a would you rather. Would you rather talk for 5 minutes to a space alien or a ghost?
A ghost.
A ghost. Why?
Because I would want to know about, like, afterlife. Or, like, and things like that. And I feel like at some point, we're going to figure out maybe what's going on more so in space. So.
Okay.
You know. And maybe, I don't know.
What about
I think that they'd be able to answer a lot of questions.
What about
What's
you,
that?
Tim? Would you, if you had I'm asking Tim now, if you had 5 minutes, would you rather talk to a ghost or a space alien?
It's kind of a loaded question because it depends on who the ghost is. Do I get to pick the ghost?
No.
Could it be the Holy Ghost? Because that would be the ultimate right there. But, I mean, a random ghost, I don't know. I mean, either way, you're going to find something out that's that's kind of an unknown secret, right? The afterlife, and who knows if somehow things aren't intertwined there, you know? But yeah, I mean, if the ghost was, I could pick the ghost, maybe it would be, you know, my father or somebody like that. But if it was just some random dude or something, I don't know. I guess it would be a coin flip, you know?
This is my question.
Okay.
And these are totally random people that you would not know. So the ghost could be...
Okay.
The ghost could not be a good ghost. It could be a bad ghost. Same with the space alien. The space alien could be a friendly space alien ET. Or it could be... Excuse me.
What?
It could... What? Every time I talk about ghosts, my phone rings. Ain't that weird?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that weird? Every time I talk about ghosts, my phone rings. But then it might be because every time I talk about my ghost, my wife walks out the door outside. And the ring rings. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. Yeah. I don't know which way. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I tell you one thing, the ghost makes logical sense, because if it was an unfriendly space alien, who knows what kind of probes you might be in for.
Get out the gloves and bend over.
Well, first of all, Mark, they took me up in their ship, and then they took me in the back room. Before you know it, they were just probing me. I mean, they didn't want anything to do with me, to be honest. But, you know, they were, like, repulsed by me, kind of like the women here on Earth are. I'll be honest with you, Mark. There's always a chubby chaser, and it was just my luck. There was one on that spacecraft, and he just did things to me that were just unspeakable. Let's just put it that way. That's what I would be afraid of happening.
I don't know. I'm scared.
My feet were in stirrups, and before you know it, one thing just led to another.
Oh my! I'm gonna say space alien, because I want to know about the life who's out there, and I want to, if there's more life out there, and what they know, and I would ask them, did God invent you, or are you guys atheists? You can't ask that question of a ghost, because the ghost if you ask a ghost, are you an atheist or do you believe in God? That's kind of a easy answer for them, isn't it?
So you were like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where he ended up going with him at the very end. Remember, he had the spacesuit on and everything.
Well, that was my next. That was my. Yes, I don't know if Leah's ever seen that movie.
Oh, Leah, I gotta see it. Good one.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Well,
You'll be making mountains out of your mashed potatoes in no time.
That's right. And you'll know what that means if you watch the show. I got another one. If you had 6 months to live, if space aliens offered you a cure but you had to leave with them, had to leave Earth with them, would you go or would you stay?
I'd be out. I'd be out of here right now.
Would you?
Oh,
This is with the premise. This is with the premise of you only have 6 months to live. It's not would you want to go.
Oh yeah. 6 months to live. That's just icing on the cake. Yeah, I mean, if they could cure whatever it is that
Could
I
you
have
bring
or
people with
can.
you?
No, you can't. You can't bring them back. You're not going to see them again. You're going to spend the rest of your life with the aliens.
with your
Are
feet
they
in
probing aliens?
Well, you don't know that.
stripes. The rest of
Again,
your life.
it's my question, and my question is vague on purpose. Because you got to be careful what you wish for. They might cure you and be with you, but then you're their little doll, if you know what I mean.
I think it depended on what they look. Oh, I don't know.
Ugh.
Yeah, but what?
I was hoping you weren't going to say on how handsome they were. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case. Because that's what
No,
most
just like if they're like the green looking aliens, or if they're like normal people aliens, or like if they're like Tim's brother back there, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're an alien racist, aren't you, Leah? You are an alien racist.
I don't know. I feel like staying on Earth is my best bet.
Yeah, probably. How about you, Mark? What would you? I know what you would do. Hasta la vista, right?
Yeah.
No, I would need, because of being married and having obligations, I would need that time to get my affairs in order, so I would stay. I'm not gonna leave my wife and my loved ones with 6 months to go. Now, if I'm on my deathbed and they come and take me,
That's true.
maybe.
Might as well.
Maybe. Okay, so this is a little weird along these lines. Which would you rather want to make out with, a ghost or a space alien? I mean, has anybody ever thought of that in their minds other than crazy?
Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk made out with space aliens all the time. He never made out with them.
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, he was.
I don't know.
They usually were women, and I don't know. Would you rather either? I mean, obviously the answer is neither. Who would you rather kiss? Let's make it kiss, not make out. I'm gonna say probably a space alien.
No,
Because
because
that
they
would
might
be-
have things popping out that you don't want to be popping out. They might have like a tongue inside their tongue.
Like aliens, right? Where the thing
but-
came out of it. Oh,
Yeah, but Leah, they might have 3 things pop out, and it might actually be a good thing. I mean, we don't know.
That's
say
fair.
that now while you still have a face, Mark.
No, I think
That's true.
if I was gonna kiss an alien, I would just like the alien kissing a ghost. I would feel like it would rub off on me, the ghost, and it would like I'd be possessed. So I think
I find the very thought of that kind of disgusting. You know what I mean?
yes.
Tim, that's your brother.
I'm another.
Hey, we were a very confused family.